there's two main players in this tech world that I want to emphasize. They don't necessarily have names, but there's two roles in the tech space. It is going to sound the same. The artificial and the art official. These are two characters, and they play a big role in the emerging AI scene. You have the artificial and the art official. It's two characters. So the one, artificial, ARITI, right? FFICIAL, artificial, as in artifice, artisan, art piece. So it is what? Essentially, it's designed intelligence. I think AI gets defined maybe inaccurately a lot of times when you sense the overtone when they talk about AI being sentient. It's sentient. It's when AI becomes sentient, when this program or that program finally becomes sentient, being able to think on its own. Well, this is a program that can be placed on run, so anything that's on run, just running, can be sentient. Your Nintendo Switch could be sentient because you're letting it run. It's gonna do what it does. It's gonna shut down if it needs to shut down. The way it is now, if you're online live, updates will pop up. You'll see things that'll let you know whether your friends are online or not. This is going to happen on its own, autonomously. If we're trying to associate and make synonymous these two factors, then we have to be able to draw the line between artificial, the artificers, and the art officials. Why am I saying art now? Because this is an expression of what is really making content move. It's art. Believe it or not, even if it's slapstick comedy, it's still a kind of art. Even if it's ratchetry, it's still a form of art. If it's beef, all of this is still a form of art. In fact, any form of life expression is actually an art. So the particular kinds of art that sell big is typically your wild stuff, anything that's rated R, etc. This is the reason why you may not even need an R rating system now for certain R rated material to pass through. Because we're in the realm of the artificers. The artificers, it took some artisans to build AI. And say, what is AI? Because when we talk about sentience, we're trying to assign AI to a sense its own being. And I hear the gist of what a lot of people say. They say AI is its own being, is sentient. Yeah, it's a compendium of whoever's thoughts are downloaded into it. The AI is still a man. The downloading material, what it's learning from, is man. The commands and the programs and the voices and the sounds, that's man. The one programming it, setting it up, that's man. The person that's doing the coding, that's man. The one that's typing the questions in for ChatGPT, that's a man or a woman. There's people, there's humans that are really behind AI. It's humans. It's artifice. Artificials. So what do the art officials say? Because that the artificials are human, then this is gonna automatically by default make AI, hate to give you the bad news, but perpetually imperfect. AI will never be a perfected thing because it still requires a human touch. It still requires a human to operate the interfacing. Even if it does operate on its own, it's a human being that's behind the switch. It's a human being who has the manual, who built it, who knows the instructions, knows how to program the AI to be a certain way. And so there's a lot of there's a ton of ambiguity surrounding authenticity of expression when one's expression is in collusion with AI. So if you're adding, whatever kind of AI, if you're doing videos that's all AI, there's a lot of cracking down going on with that, because this is classifying as automated. The human touch is still required. And from what I understand, people are saying that even when celebrities are AI'd out, when it's just a computer, just a CPI of them or a CGI of them, they're saying that they can easily tell that these people are not real. They're still kind of giving them the Max Headstrom look. Like, yeah, they're still glitchy. And even to perfect this, what are you going to end up with when it's, if everything that VR and AR entails should become very scalable and affordable? What if people are in a space where they're relying on that more than their smartphones? If you were to fast forward to a possible timeline where this is the case, then the people will be a part of the art. What you'll get is Ready Player One. Everybody's a superhero when they put the goggles on, but the person with the goggles on is malnourished, full of lesions and sores, and lives in a metropolis full of stacked trailer parks, full of stacked trailers. The whole downtown area, 10, 15 floor trailer units. Call it neglecting the outside. It's okay to guard the inside, to guard the treasure, to guard the vault. But if you don't do landscaping, the wild will jump into your windows and be found on your porches. The outside still has to be maintained. What AI is the attempt for people to be synchronized from the outside. This is why they study and collect the data on what goes on the inside. It's wild because there's another layer to artificial intelligence too, and it comes in the form of misinformation or disinformation. If you're not sure whether something is fact or fiction, the safest thing to do is categorize it under art. So now you have another form of artificial intelligence, because we're saying we're using intelligence in this case to collect information, which is really basically academia. I'm not saying intelligence based on your intellect, your ability to think and how you think, not that definition, but the more academic definition in terms of trivial. So you have a person's intelligence. If they're running with the wrong information, or if they're running with outdated information, then that means that the intelligence that they're expressing on the matter is no longer official. It once was, but it's artificial now. You get it? Going to get a beeper was official in 1996. By 2006, it wasn't really official anymore. Those are examples of another form of artificial intelligence. An intelligence or set of data or facts that has a shelf life on it is going to be a temporal fact. For instance, whatever team won the championship in whatever sport, they are the champions. If they don't win the following season, that will no longer be a fact. That official intelligence will be made artificial intelligence. So we have to do what? Categorize it under art now. Because what art does is it lends itself to interpretation. That's the beauty of art. It lends itself to interpretation. And in that interpretation, you will get fact. And yes, in those interpretations that are open, you will get conjecture and speculation, sure. But aren't we to start that way empirically? You know, if we're using people like David Hume, we have to ask the most ridiculous questions to get to the basic truths sometimes. Just to be sure of something, sometimes we'll find ourselves circling the wagons to double back on information. Right? When you say faith is believing that you've received something that's not physically in your possession yet, you would still say, okay, is this artificial information now that law of attraction is here, now that the secret has come out? And this is what you may have been saying in 2012. Is this official intelligence, or is it going to be made artificial? And if it's going to be artificial intelligence, no longer considered official or canon, that's when you start adding art to the intelligence. That's when you become an art official with the intelligence. Jesus told stories, parables, to point them toward facts and point them toward wise truths. He used art, an art form known as storytelling. This is art. To tell a story is one of the most artistic things that you can do. Is to tell a story, to become a narrator, to give a person an internal movie to watch. This is what Jesus was doing with a lot of his messages. So he was an art official. He was official with his art. Anytime somebody needed something, he was an official. When it came to that, he knew exactly what stories to use, what illustrations, what backdrop, what setting. He had the whole masterpiece ready to be verbally communicated in a running conversation. So this was an artist. Super T Sigma programming. Understand the difference between artificial and art officials. Peace.